Hello everyone. In this session, we will discuss the bisection method of solving nonlinear equations. So it is bisection method for solving nonlinear equations. So let's say we have an equation f of x equal to 0, which is real continuous function and it has at least one root between, let's say, a and b. So these are the points of x between which we are expecting at least one root. So in that case, then f of a into f of b should be less than 0. Why? Because now that they have at least one root, we're expecting like the nature of the values, the function value at a and b should be of opposite nature. Like if f of a is positive, then f of b should be negative. If f of a is negative, f of b should be positive, so that the overall product is negative, right? Although there can be more than one roots also, but at least we are expecting one root if we are satisfying this condition. But even if the sign changes are not there, even then it is possible to have the roots between them, but this is not the thing which we are covering in the bisection method. So what we are doing is we are bracketing the root between two guess value. Like we said, a and b. So a and b are the two guess value, and of course we are expecting that the nature of the value is opposite. So we are bracketing the root, and we can find this root by the estimate for root can be given by let's say a and b are x0 and x1, then we are going for x2, and x2 is going to be a plus b by 2. It is going to be a plus b by 2. This will be the midpoint of a and b, and this will be the root estimate for our first iteration. Now we will check the function value at x2 and make a new pair, that is we will make a new pair condition either f of a into f of x2 is less than 0, or f of b into f of x2 is less than 0. x2 or, right, So the thing is, now that we have the new root estimate as x2 and we can find the function value at this x2, f of x2, so we will form a new pair of interval, or we will form a new bracket, and that will be either a and x2 or b and x2, depending on the product of which of the pair is going to be less than 0. So if let's say f of a was positive and f of b was negative and f of x2 comes out to be negative, so in that case we are not going to make pair of x2 and b because they both are negative. So negative and negative will become positive, right? So we are not going to take this pair, whereas for a and x2 this is positive and x2 is negative, so overall we will have negative. So this is the pair we will choose, and then we can go for the next root estimate by x3 is equal to a plus x2 by 2. So now what we have to do is, again we will check the function value at this point, and if it is either giving 0, then definitely it will be the root, or if it is the function value is within certain range provided in the question, then also we can stop at x3 and say that x3 is going to be the root of this equation given. And we have to always make sure that we present the equation in f of x equal to 0 form. No matter what form they are giving, we have to rearrange it to make it in this form. So we can repeat this iterations any number of times asked in the question, or we can do it up to the value we are expecting or the exact root we are expecting, or whatever numbers they are asking for. So there are something good about it and some disadvantage also, like this bisection method is always convergent. This bisection method is always convergent. Because we are starting with a pair for which the nature of the magnitude is opposite. We will start with that condition only. If we don't have such condition, we don't go for bisection, right? So we are very definite that there will be a root between the bracket or between the guess values we have taken. Other than that, this bisection method, the convergence rate is slow. It is very slow, and also like if in such some of the cases the function value doesn't go for a change of the nature, like let's say f of x equal to x square. So in that case we won't be able to find the guess value, so that the nature of the magnitude for upper and lower limit is going to be of opposite nature. So it is basically if f of x just touches the x-axis, we cannot form or find anything intervals such that f of a into f of b is less than 0. The example is, let's say if the function value is x square or f of x is equal to x square. In such case what happens, this function will clearly pass through it and it won't cross the x-axis. So in such case we cannot have a function value, or we cannot find or locate that point below which, like if this is the positive half, we have to find the negative, some value for which the function is negative, so that we can make a bracket of positive and negative values. But this is not possible because it is not crossing it. It is simply touching and then going back for a positive value, touching and going back. It is not crossing it. If it is crossing it, then it is possible to take a certain limit, let's say a and then b. Then we are very sure that between these interval we are going to get a root, right? So this is one more disadvantage for this case. Then we can see some questions on this.